The Hero Network. Game on. Chapter 2. Saved by Mortal Kombat. Zenki opened his eyes and slowly climbed out of bed. He got dressed and equipped his deck of hero cards to his belt and his network reader in its watch form on his wrist. He then made his way to the command center. There he found Commander Kaz standing in front of 3 large holographic monitors, each one scanning a map, watching and analysing the 3 sectors of the main summer site city. "Good, you're awake," Kaz muttered without turning around. "What's going on?" Zenki asked. "We have hostages. 2 surgeons, who have now been helping every hospital around the world for the last couple of weeks. They've been taken hostage by 3 members of the Tigress clan," Kaz explained. The Tigress clan were a group of ninjas, trained in swords, spears, kunai, staves, daggers, and explosives. They made a deal a while ago and are now equipped with technology made by the destructive network material. Zenki rolled his eyes at the mention to their name. "Let me guess, you want me to go and save these surgeons, huh?" Zenki groaned. "Yes, and be quick, but also be careful. We need these surgeons alive. Their skills are valuable, and if we lose even one of them, we are putting hundreds of patients' lives up for the slaughter," Kaz ordered. Zenki nodded, and then left the commander in the command center. He then headed for their helicopter pad and climbed into the helicopter. It took off and flew over the city. Zenki looked down and saw the average city person, looking so small from the height that he was at. They flew from far off away from the city and headed to an older town. The helicopter lowered down, floating a few feet above the ground. "Head south to the train station. There is only 3 platforms. The hostages are being held on the 3rd one, as it's closed for construction," the pilot barked. Zenki gave him a thumbs up and jumped out the helicopter to land on the ground, his black trench coat flapping in the wind as the helicopter raised high off in the air and flew off. Zenki ran through the station with quiet but quick steps. He approached the 3rd platform. The closed for construction sign had been destroyed. He hopped over the broken sign and ran up the stairs. He quickly ducked down and saw the 2 sergeants on their knees. Both men had wounds on their faces, a clear sign that at some point the Tigress clan members had struck them. He peeked over the corner and counted 2 Tigress clan members. Their armor were black, shiny, and thin. Their headpieces were that of the shape of a tiger. Their fangs and pointy ears with emerald jewels above their visors reflecting that of tigers' eyes. "Where's the 3rd one?" Zenki muttered under his breath. Suddenly he felt the cold steel tip of a sword touch his cheek. He spun around on his heel and stood behind him was the 3rd member with a katana-like blade in his hand. "Right here," the member growled. Zenki was forced to his feet and made to walk over to the sergeant, with his hands raised. "We have a stray," one Tigress ninja said to the other 2. Zenki was then shoved to his knees next to the sergeants. He looked at their scarred faces, one of them visibly sweating with fear. It's okay. I got you guys," Zenki whispered. He was then hit in the head by the hilt of one of the Tigress clan's swords, directly in the face. He fell backwards, hitting the ground. 2 ninjas bent down and grabbed Zenki and pulled him up. Zenki quickly jumped up, spun around, and kicked both ninjas back. He then backflipped a couple times, creating some distance between himself and the 3 Tigress ninjas. As he landed, his watch shifted into his network reader. Zenki opened the deck holder and pulled out a card. He then held it out. "Hero card! Lock in!" he called out. He slotted the card in the reader and raised his arm into the air. "From the Kombat Network, I call forth smoke!" Zenki cried out. Then he threw out his palm and a green portal opened before him, and the short, silver-haired assassin in dark grey ninja suit, donning a mask modelled after a gas mask, burst from the portal. He rolled as he hit the ground and stood automatically in his fighting stance, his karambit knife in hand. The portal closed and Zenki threw out his hand to his side. "Smoke, take care of them!" Zenki barked. Smoke nodded and ran towards the 3 Tigress clan ninjas. One ran at Smoke with his katana gripped tightly. He swung his sword and Smoke blocked the incoming stroke with his knife. He ducked down and swept his leg across the ground, tripping the ninja over. He then threw a smoke grenade into the air and then another down at his feet. Both grenades exploded into thick clouds of smoke. Smoke himself disappeared and reappeared in the air. He swung his knife down and stabbed another ninja in the shoulder, and as he landed on the ground, he pulled his knife from the ninja's shoulder and stabbed him in the back several times. Then the third one came charging at Smoke. He had two claw-like blades extending from his knuckles. He swiped at Smoke, slashing him hard, making him stumble back. "I gotta give Smoke a hand," Zenki grunted. Zenki opened the deck holder and pulled out another card. He then held it out. "Hero card, lock in," he called out. He slotted the card into the reader and raised his arm into the air. "From the Kombat Network, I call forth Kung Lao," Zenki cried out. He threw his hand out and the portal opened. Kung Lao jumped out of it. The monk with the razor-rimmed hat instantly jumped into the fight. The first ninja jumped to his feet and swung his sword at Kung Lao as he jumped up and double-kicked the ninja. Then he took off his hat and threw it, and it flew past all three ninjas and Smoke. Kung Lao then disappeared in a swirling light and reappeared under his hat. He caught the hat and swung it, slashing the third ninja down. Smoke and Kung Lao engaged in a brutal dance of trading blows with the three Tiger's clan ninjas. Zenki bolted to the sergeants and helped them to their feet. He ran over to the stairs and pointed down them. "Get down these, then follow the path. There will be someone waiting for your arrival at the entrance. Move," Zenki ordered. The surgeons thanked him and scurried down the flight of stairs. Zenki turned to the battle pursuing between Smoke, Kung Lao, and the three ninjas. "I've got to amp this game up real quick," Zenki muttered. Then he pulled out the card that he needed and slotted it into the reader. "Animality upgrade activate," Zenki roared. Suddenly, Smoke shifted into a large, grey-toned gorilla. The gorilla slammed its fist against his chest and grabbed one of the ninjas. He lifted the ninjas into the air with ease, and the ninja stabbed its claws into Smoke's gorilla arm. The gorilla roared out in pain, but didn't stop from slamming the ninja into the ground, crushing the ninja's skull into the concrete as blood splattered everywhere. Zenki then slotted another card into his reader. "Fatality upgrade activate," Zenki roared. Kung Lao ran at the second ninja. He blocked an incoming punch. Then he jabbed twice at the ninja's chest. He took off his hat and slashed the ninja with the razor rim. Then he placed the hat in front of him and let go. The hat started floating before him. He then spun the hat, turning it into a floating, spinning buzzsaw blade. He then grabbed the ninja and punched him in the face repeatedly before kicking him in the back of the legs, forcing him to his knees. Kung Lao then grabbed the ninja by the back of the head and pushed his face into the rotating hat. The razor blade spun so fast it cut through the ninja's face with ease. In mere moments, the razor-rimmed hat had sliced through the ninja's skull and split it into two. The last remaining ninja turned to Zenki. "You're now an enemy of the Tiger's clan, and I shall have your skull mounted upon my wall," the ninja roared. Then he pressed a button on his arm guard and teleported away. Zenki pressed his communicator piece in his ear. "Hostages are secure," Zenki said proudly. Zenki once again stood before Commander Kaz. "You did well. The surgeons are being medically checked out, but they seem fine," Commander Kaz explained. "Thank you, Commander," Zenki said with a slight nod. "I also thought I'd let you know that we have a new division tasked to find the source of the destructive network. Then, when we have word on the location, you'll be the first to know. But for now, you will just have to deal with these minor issues that keep cropping up with people using the destructive network technology," Commander Kaz noted. "That's amazing news, sir. Don't worry, I'll be ready," Zenki told him. Zenki was excused and he left the command center. He headed to get some food as using the Hero Network reader drained his own energy a bit and he had not had a chance to refuel. Thoughts of the true identity of the destructive network swirled around his mind as he stuffed his face with food.